I watched The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live, and here are my thoughts. This is the latest addition to the big catalog now that is The Walking Dead spin-off shows. I've already made videos talking about the other shows, including Dead City and Daryl Dixon. I really loved the Daryl Dixon show, and Dead City was okay. But my expectations for the show were higher than the other two, considering it has the return of the one and only Rick motherfucking Grimes. Rick is the OG, the man that started it all, and the most badass character in The Walking Dead's history. Daryl is right there in terms of badassery, but Rick literally rips somebody's throat out, so yeah. But with Rick being gone from The Walking Dead for years now, this show again had some expectations. And I'm happy to say I think they did a really good job with this show. It was so cool to see Rick and Michonne again, and the chemistry between Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera is so damn good. That's easily the biggest strength of this show to me. It's just the two of them together, whether it be a fight scene or a very personal scene, it just works for me. And luckily they do give you a lot of time with them together, which I'm so glad they did, because I thought maybe they would get super plot heavy and have them be apart a lot and wait for that big like reunion moment. They give you that pretty early and then just let the plot play out from there. Speaking of the plot though, it is pretty solid, nothing too crazy, but it keeps the wheels turning and gets us to the Rick and Michonne stuff at a pretty good pace. This show doesn't really have a true antagonist. I would say the closest thing to it is Jadis, who was actually my favorite character in this show other than Rick or Michonne, but she's really just a soldier for this big bad militia type group called the CRM. And keeping it simple, they're just a bunch of dickheads that are crazy extreme on pretty much everything they do. They were hinted at in the main show but became prevalent in another spin-off called World Beyond, which honestly was pretty mid. But none of the characters from World Beyond, other than Jadis, show up in The Ones Who Live, so it feels pretty disconnected and not a real requirement to watch. Overall, the CRM is easy to root against and a good move for this show, considering it's another 6-episode season or extended movie if you want to think of it that way. So they don't really have time to build up a bunch of new characters, even though it is a familiar group from another spin-off. And that's why I like Jadis, because she's from the original show and already has a history, a pretty big history with Rick and Michonne. So they're able to build her up even more while also having this newer storyline where she's kind of a bad guy. I mean, she's genuinely terrifying and pretty serious in some scenes. Shout out to Pollyanna McIntosh though, who played Jadis. She did a really great job and was stuck with having to rock that horrible hair. Gotta give her major props for that. This show was honestly everything I wanted. I got a lot of time with two of my favorite characters from The Walking Dead. Some solid action with some very crazy moments. One of these moments actually happens extremely early, like the first scene. It sets a pretty heavy tone right off the bat. It again has a pretty solid plot, and it also gave us a extremely satisfying ending that a lot of Walking Dead fans have been waiting for, considering I don't think that the main show really had a true ending. It was pretty much just an open book type ending that, you know, set up a bunch of spin-offs. But the ending for The Ones Who Live, it was enough to make a grown man cry.
But not this man. Get back in there, Tia.
I think overall they nailed this, and I'm glad it turned out so good, because if it would have sucked, I probably would have cried for a much different reason. Anyway, I obviously recommend this to Walking Dead fans, or people that maybe tuned out at some point, but, you know, like Rick and Michonne. If this is the last time we see Rick and Michonne, which I really hope that it isn't, but if it is, I think they went out with a bang, and I think it's a pretty fitting ending. I'm still gonna hope that they show up in Daryl Dixon Season 2, because I want my boys to reunite. With all that being said though, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, but if you did watch The Ones Who Live, let me know what you thought and if you agree or disagree with me. The Walking Dead fans can be pretty harsh, so I'm curious to see if I'm in the minority here, even though I don't think I am, but you know, you never know. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.